Hi,
Hi.
welcome back.
Yes.
Pam and Mari-Lyn here. Nice to
Thanks for
see you
tuning in.
again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, we are going to answer some questions today
Yes.
that have been coming up and are really super
Oof.
important.
We get them all the time. We get,
Yeah.
yes, emails, um, comments, and we have addressed these things throughout, on other videos. We talk about a little bit, but we decided we really need to just do one video on this topic.
Mm-hmm.
So we can even refer people to it when they
Yes.
ask again, because it'll come up again.
It will come
It
up
will
again.
absolutely come up again.
And I mean, really, I'd rather have people ask
Yes.
um, and get the answer than
Yes.
either be in fear
Yes.
or
Yes.
inadvertently do something that's going
Yes.
to not be so good.
Yes. Or
And
email us and say that we were the cause of this happening, which we have no control over. I guess
no,
maybe
we
should we
don't.
say what we're talking about?
We should probably let you know what the heck we are talking about.
Yes. So can you oh, sorry, you want to?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Um, it's asked in different ways all the time, but basically, can a ghost come through the TV and attach to me or attack me? Yes. While I'm watching these ghost hunter videos or your videos. And the short answer is no. No. And no. But we wanted to talk about it and kind of go in a little deeper than that and
Because
talk.
it's not that simple.
It's not that simple. Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is not that
So,
simple.
yes, we've both written down some sort of bullet points to make sure we talk about all the points that we want to make about this and hopefully answer everyone's questions. We've kind of gone through old emails and things. Okay, what were they asking and what were these points, etc. So we want to make sure they get answered.
You already answered no.
Right.
That's the basic simple answer.
Yes.
But the other thing that you mentioned in that question was attached to me or attached to someone else.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us, Pam, what is an attachment?
So, Mari-Lyn, an attachment, the way we use that word, ghost hunters and people, well, I'm just going to say ghost hunters, use the word incorrectly. So the way you hear about it on these videos and such is that this spirit like attaches to you and follows you everywhere, and they're attached to you and they get you thinking things. I don't even know exactly more than that, exactly what they think that attachment does. It makes you sick. It makes you think certain things or do certain things, etc. So,
Can I ask a question?
of course.
That almost sounds like being jumped.
Yes.
Or do I dare say the word
The
possession?
P word.
The P word.
Yes. Yes. And I think we talk about that too on this video.
Okay.
So an attachment, the way we use that, the way we're to understand that after years of working with the paranormal, working with people, working with spirits, all the earthies and all the different entities, etc. The way we use attachment is it's an emotional attachment. You become emotionally involved, and the earthy becomes emotionally involved with you. That's the attachment. It's more of like an attraction, I would say. We see it all the time.
I might go so far as to say an enmeshment sometimes.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Trauma bonding, unhealed empathy bonds. it's so many things, but on the basic level, it's, I like this spirit in my house and I care for it and I'm so sad and it wants to be here. And I want to make sure we hear that a lot. They want to make sure this poor spirit is okay. And I'm the only one that can help. And I'm the only one it wants to talk to. It becomes almost like a friend, but it isn't a friend. There's a false feeling it's a false belief that this earthy is doing something for you and you are giving to them. Very codependent. Very, very codependent.
Yes.
Yes. So those relationships form, I will say relationship form through those kind of, in quotes, attachment. But that's what we call an attachment. So then do you want to talk about being jumped and then
well, I don't
there is
know if I
attack.
do, because
there's also attacked.
Because while I have been jumped,
yes,
while I was jumped, I don't have a whole lot of memory of it.
Correct. I was there to see to watch it. Yes.
But I will talk about how it came to be. So I, excuse me. And you've probably heard this story before, a lot of you. I was talking to an earthbound spirit, and she was so distraught. She and her entire family, they lost their lives in a fire. Her family all crossed over. She did not. She felt abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
I had my own abandonment issues.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm talking to this girl, I do remember feeling that unhealed empathy.
Yes.
I remember
I'm going to say something though,
yeah,
but really unaware that it was the same wounding. So you were feeling that, but you didn't know, oh, this is the same wounding she has. And yes.
Did not have a clue.
No.
I thought my compassion and my big heart was opening up to her.
Yes.
To comfort her.
Yes. So right there, I'm going to stop there. Right there is where we would say an attachment. Yeah. Now the next level of that is what Mari-Lyn is about to tell you.
And the trauma bond. Knowing the trauma bond. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, the next thing I remember, I do remember crying.
Yes.
And I remember Pam yelling my name.
Yes.
So as I think I'm being compassionate and putting my heart out to this woman or girl, what I was really doing was inviting her in. And she took it.
Yep. She took that opportunity. Yes.
Took the opportunity.
Yes. To be in a physical body I'm not sure of her reasoning. There are many different reasons why they will jump you, but they want that opportunity to be in a physical body again to express themselves. That's the sort of basis of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was giving her the perfect expression of her anguish.
Yes. 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 Yeah. And I want to back up just a second. This was not just Mari-Lyn and I had a group. I had a full class there. And so I have apologized to Mari-Lyn for not realizing sooner what was happening. I mean, I realized it pretty quick, but it still wasn't as if it was just the two of us. it would have been a whole different thing. So I was trying to watch all these other people, I won't do that again with that many people. So that was a learning experience for me as well.
But it was it was an experience that I needed.
Yes. Yeah.
For my own healing, for my own education.
Yes. Yes.
And
clearly I learned as well.
It was after the fact, boy, I was wrung out for about 2 days.
Yeah. Yes.
Really not a healthy thing to do unintentionally. Intentionally, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I will never do that intentionally.
Right. No.
At all.
No. And I'm going to say, if I can interrupt, as I usually do, is you have healed so much since then. That same situation comes up, you're going to know right away what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Unhealed empathy now for me is very recognizable.
Yes.
And you know, we all have empathy.
Yep.
And 99.8% of the population has empathy. That's a human thing.
Yes.
But when there's unhealed empathy,
yes,
and we enmesh with that person over it,
yes,
we are opened up to all kinds of disaster.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And it's also what some people, unhealed empathy is often what people call being an empath. And that's a whole nother video.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother video of that craziness. But so that's being jumped. So this spirit actually jumped into Mari-Lyn's Deva. So Mari-Lyn wasn't thinking for herself. It was very confusing. And she was using her body to express herself. Now, that cannot, I was there to pull them apart. However, if I weren't there, it would have lasted longer. I don't know how much longer, but it's typically not a very long time. I'm talking maybe 5-10 minutes, that amount of time. And then they cannot sustain staying in your physical body. You cannot sustain that, and it comes back apart,
breaks apart.
Yes. So so that happens. That's called being jumped. Yes. Now, being attacked, before we go to the big P word. So being attacked, that happens, and we see that happen on ghost hunter videos all the time. That's typically you'll hear them saying, "Oh my God, I'm hot. I'm just sweating. I'm hot out of nowhere." That's typically a spirit is attacking you somehow in different ways. They're trying to jump you is one of the biggest things, and they're being unsuccessful because they don't have the in. They don't have that trail of unhealed empathy, or they have actually jumped you. That happens too. That's a form of being attacked, of course. But they attack you. They try to give you a headache. They try to make you throw up. Whatever, you've heard us talking about that lowest point. Like if you have back problems, they'll they're attacking you. They're trying to hurt you. So that's being attacked. When you see ghost hunters get really, really cold and they're shivering, they're having their energy just drained from them. Okay, so that's a little different as well, but that's still kind of being attacked.
It's still an attack.
Now, possession is very different. Mari-Lyn and I have only come in contact this just a couple times, maybe 3 times, something like that. I don't know for sure. I'd have to really think about that, and I didn't take time to think about it. Unless you can remember, Mari-Lyn. But
honestly, there's one that I will absolutely say.
That was the first time we came across it. I'll never forget that.
Possession, yes. No doubt.
Yes. Yes. And we've talked about that on some video. I know, but a possession is either an earthy that is really, really old and has been around a long time, and the light is really shrinking in them, or it's more typically something has never been human. Some people call them demons and whatever. As you all know, we don't put those kind of labels on things because our teams don't. They don't see things in that way. And you have to invite them in. And they are very tricky. And they will try anything to get you to invite them in. And once they do, getting rid of them is no picnic. And you definitely need help for that. So like the jump, it's just going to happen. It's just going to separate. A possession is very different. They take over your body, and they can also go dormant. They're still there, but they'll let you have control of your own faculties, and then they'll take control of them and backward. And it's we've seen people really, really decline health-wise, mentally, physically, emotionally from having possession. So that's a different thing completely. And that's really rare, actually. Very rare, but it certainly happens. And yeah.
I want to just say something briefly about when we use the word rare.
Oh, sure.
When we use the word rare, we really seriously mean it hardly ever happens.
Yes.
In the big scheme of life, and of how many humans are on this world, have been, have lived, being an earthbound spirit is kind of rare.
Yeah.
In the big scheme of things. So we go from that rare, and then within all of that, there are other things that are rare. So every time you go rare in the realm of paranormal,
yes,
it becomes less and less and less likely.
Yes.
We don't use the word rare lightly.
No.
I guess is the point I wanted to make.
And that's a good point. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing with all these ghost hunting videos. They make you believe that it's a lot less rare than we're saying. Because they're seeking out places. First of all, they're seeking out places that have activity. And then if there isn't any, or even if there is, they play it up like it's way worse than it is. They throw around the word demon all the time. And that's all to entertain. That's their job, is to entertain us. And they do a really good job of it. They do a really good job of it. And that's another thing with what I want to talk about today too, is whether it's ghost hunting videos, scary movies, whatever, we're coming to watch them for that experience of getting scared. I love scary movies. I don't call them, there's a difference between, I was a teenager in the 80s, and the whole slasher movie, love them. Those are horror movies. To me, like a scary movie is any of the paranormal activities, that kind of thing. And that's when you just get scared. And that's why you go to watch them. That's why I watch them. I love it. It's so fun. I leave all my expectations behind. I know I'm not going to be hurt. You just go and you watch it for the entertainment. That's why you're there. And whether it's a movie with the actors or these videos with the ghost hunters, their job is to bring that scare to you. So, of course, in the movie, it's all made up. But ghost hunters, a lot of them are lying to you, lying to us. And I'm okay with that, because the reason that we're going to watch it is to get scared, is to watch them freak out, is to watch all of that.
Hmm?
But I think everyone really needs to really realize that oftentimes there's nothing going on at all, and they know they're making a video and they want the likes and they want people to watch, and so they make shit up. And as long as you know that, I don't necessarily think that's a big issue, as long as when you're watching it, you understand that this may just be them lying. But anyway, I'll get away from that. All right. So do you want to talk about, oh, yes.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, what are your intentions when
I
you
do,
okay,
because that's what I was just gonna say.
okay,
Let's talk about your intentions while
Yes.
you're watching these
yes,
videos. You sit down and you're going to watch a ghost hunting video. And in the back of your mind, you're wondering, ooh, is there something in there that could jump out of my screen and get me?
yes,
What is your intention while you're watching this video? Is your intention to sit down and watch it for the entertainment value? Or is your intention
right,
to watch it and try and figure out what might be in there that you are afraid of might jump out of your screen and get you?
yes,
Or are you sitting down with the outside intention of watching this video for the entertainment value? Secretly, you are wanting something to come to your home.
yes, yes,
Those are very,
yes,
very big questions to ask yourself,
yes,
because like attracts like, right? And well, nothing's going to jump out through your screen and
No.
get you.
No.
If you have the intention of searching for something that's negative and you want that to come to your home, you've put that energy out there.
Yes.
And that energy is going to find you.
Yes. With that said,
Yeah.
So people who, because we've had these emails, people contact us, say, I was watching one of your videos, or I was watching a ghost hunting video or whatever, and now all of a sudden I have a spirit in my home and blah, blah, blah. And so we look into it, whatever. So what typically happens, well, we've never once had that be true, first of all.
No, I cannot remember. I cannot remember a time where that was true.
No. You've either have an earthy in your home already, and they just, all that fear that you've built up, all of that, they've made themselves known. Your paranoia, that happens too, is your mind starts playing tricks on you, and you start, every little thing you think is a ghost in your house.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yep.
Or like Mari-Lyn was saying, when that's what you want, you can call it in. And it's not coming from the video. It's not coming from wherever that place is that we're watching or that you're watching, whatever the video is. It's coming from the dimensions right around you. You've opened a door and allowed them to come in. So that's how it happens. So will it come from whatever you're watching? No. It's your intention. It's what you're doing. It's the fear that you're building up. It's your ego, maybe wanting it or spooking yourself out, and you call it in to your home. So that's really how it happens. It's not from watching these videos. The only thing the videos do is get you paranoid. and fearful. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, if you're sitting down with the intention of inviting it in,
Yes.
chances are really good you're going to invite it in.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
The very dangerous part about that is, well, not the one of the very dangerous parts about that is you can be thinking you're inviting one thing in.
Yes.
But when you open that invitation, all bets are off.
Yep.
It is a wide open invitation
Yes.
for absolutely any and everything
Yes.
to find you.
Yes. And what's coming up very clearly, because it happens all the time, they will come in and make you think there's something else.
Oh yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah, they're really good at that. We've had people call us and they have stuff going on in their home, but I know my grandma's here and I don't want her bothered. Or it's like, that's not grandma. Grandma would not be doing what you think she's doing. Yeah. So yeah, when you
I just want to throw it in there really fast. Professionals can be tricked.
Yeah.
I don't care how long you've been doing this.
Right.
You can be tricked.
Yes.
So if you are very inexperienced in this,
yes,
getting tricked is easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's easy for them to trick me.
Hate to say it. On occasion, doesn't happen often. You figure it out.
I do, but my point is we are human. We have egos, and we can be duped so easy.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And please know, because this is one of the reasons we want to talk about this all the time, or do these videos, whatever. We, as mediums, and even all of you who like these videos, who get that these earthies need help, please remember to bring the love, to stand in love. These are, when you have, we've been standing there talking, Mari-Lyn and I have, about, whatever situation we're in. We're in a haunted place, whatever, and something goes flying past our heads and we're like, oh, okay. And we turn and look, and that could be, you could take that as, oh, they're trying to attack me, they're trying to hurt me, and you could get scared and freak out, and it's an evil demon thing. And it's just really an old man trying to get your attention. It's an earthy saying, sometimes they don't even know they need help. They don't even know what their options are. They know nothing. They just want your attention. They just want to talk.
Right.
And the fact that we can't see them physically and something gets thrown is a frightening thing. And we'll take it as something way scarier than it actually is. And they do feed off fear. So the ones that have been there a while, who understand energy, who understand how to keep their energy moving, they know to scare you, because that energy, it flies from you. When you're in fear, it's this low vibration, and it just like flings from you, and they just like gobble that up, and that's how they restore themselves and keep going. So I may have way got off topic there. I don't know.
No, not really, because your point was staying in the vibration of love.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so important.
So important.
Yeah.
And when you sit down to watch one of these videos, being excited and looking forward to whatever's coming, that's a high vibration. That is a high vibration. If you sit down and I'm going to be just like whoever, I'm going to be a medium, I'm going to be a psychic, and I'm going to try and figure out what's going on. Unless you know how to do that, even some people who think they know how to do that, without training, without understanding, you're putting yourself at risk. So it's really important to not try to be that medium, because Mari-Lyn and I, we've talked about this before. We open our sacred space, and there's a whole thing to that. That's not, there's a whole big ritual, I should say, to that. And we're opening that space. That when we do that, it's for boundaries, it's for safety, it's a way also where the earthies, the entities, whatever they are, when we're watching these movie or these films, they can come to us within that space. They can't get into our homes, they can't jump us, they can't do anything other than just poke their head in and give us their story or whatever it is. You guys have seen our videos when they come in, but they're still in their space at the property that they're at. They're not coming and living in our homes or even whatever. They're
not coming through the screen.
They're not coming through the screen.
I think that's really important, because
yes,
I think people, I think some people misunderstand when we talk about a spirit coming to us while we're watching a video.
Yes. So do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. It's like they get a very narrow view of the big picture.
Yes. Yes.
And what Pam and I do when we're watching these videos, doing these reactions, there is, it's all energetic. It really has nothing to do with the video we're watching, the computer screens. It's all energetic. And that's how I'll call it the visitation.
Yes.
The visitations are energetic.
Yes.
We go there. We have the sacred safe space to where they can, poke in their energy. But it's rather controlled.
It's very controlled. Yes.
And we don't want people to take the visitations out of context.
Correct.
And what I mean by that is by thinking, oh, it's jumping through it's
right,
jumping
right,
through the screen.
Right.
It's jumping out of the video. That is not what's happening.
And it's also, that's what being a medium is. That's what having conversations with these entities, having those conversations, understanding when there are times when, and there are people who call themselves mediums, but they're not, they're psychics. And there's nothing wrong with that either, but there's a distinction there. A psychic isn't having a conversation with that entity. We're not face to face having that conversation. That's a medium. A psychic reads the information, and a psychic can very often get a lot of the same information. It's just not coming straight from that entity. They're reading the energy. They're getting in there. They're looking into it, and they're discovering or reading that information. So there's a big difference between those two. And so what we do, we do a combination of both when we watch these.
Absolutely.
Even when we go to clear a home, there's both of those things that work in tandem with each other. So when you sit down to watch these, just intuiting the information, you're pretty safe. I still don't think you should do it without training, but people do it all the time. We get messages constantly, people telling us what they got from the videos. But
I want to say just real quick, some of that, I fully believe this, and you may disagree. Some of that intuiting, it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're sitting there and you're watching it, and it's information.
It's like smacking you in the face. Yeah.
But the important part is,
yes,
is not to lean into that.
Don't lean
not
in.
To
correct.
Not to lean in, and not to go
yes
further than what your training and what
Yes.
your knowledge.
And I'm also
really
going
all
to
that.
add, please don't comment. If you want to send us an email, that's one thing, but do not comment. Well, I don't even want the email really, but it's really none of your business, any of us, unless that spirit, here's another thing that is a mediumship thing. We get permission to speak to them, and we get permission to tell their story. And there's other ways to do that as well, even psychically. So we only give the information that we're being allowed to say. There's a lot of stuff that we don't say ever, because it's none of our business. It's none of your business to know. It's that individual, whether they have a body or not, they still have the right to their own information and not to give that away. So please don't do that in the comments. We will often delete them or let the person know you're overstepping into someone else's free will. And there are ethics around it. And the ethics dictate that we don't tell someone else's story unless they've allowed us to do so. So,
yeah, good point.
And also, without training, you don't know if that information is even correct. Your ego might be in the way. One thing about learning how to read, I teach people how to read, so I see it all the time, is when you're, I mean, it can happen later too. I mean, there are times when we'll go, oh, was that my ego? But especially when you're starting without the training, even with the training, through the first part of learning how to read, you get it wrong all the time because it's your ego. You have to learn how to separate spirit's words from your words. So I'm just going to leave that there. So anyway, be careful when you're watching. So one thing, when you're watching the videos, if you're trying to be the medium and you're trying to make contact with those entities, something else that's around you can jump in and say, hi, I'm that entity. And that's what can happen. So they're not coming through the TV. It's not coming from even that place where the ghost hunters or whatever, wherever they're investigating.
Right.
It's coming from right around you. And when you start opening those wormholes, I call them wormholes, you're going to invite stuff in. So that's how that can happen. I hope that made sense.
And I might add that you can invite it in and it can be dormant. It can be,
yes,
it can come in and go, okay, I'm gonna watch.
Yep. I'm gonna hang out here
and
for days, weeks, even months before doing anything.
Yeah.
Try not to be in fear of it happening. That's a big thing. Like Mari-Lyn talked about, the intention. What is your intention when you're sitting down to watch this?
Yeah.
And when you're in fear, as we know, that's a low vibration, and that creates situations that are that you don't want to have happen. Just enjoy watching them. Just have fun. Just sit down and watch them for the fun of it, for just the excitement of it, like you would a movie. I don't watch ghost hunter videos, but I, again, love scary movies, and I turn off everything and I sit down to just enjoy the movie like I would any other movie. And I'd love to get scared, sit on the side of your seat, just, the suspense and what's going to happen. And then you jump when something happens. I love all of that. She doesn't, but I do.
I do not. I do not like to be scared. Yeah.
She doesn't. No.
No.
So can they come out of the TV and attack you or attach to you? Hopefully we've answered all of that here today. Don't be afraid of that. Fear is the first layer of an experience happening for you. But no, they're not going to come through the TV. It's going to be whatever's right around you. It's what you create within your own space. So yeah. Is there anything else that I think we got everything.
I think we covered everything.
Yes.
And so while no, it's not going to come through if you're just watching it, if you set the intention of inviting something in, something will come in.
Yes. But it's not going to be from the video.
Right. It will not be from the video.
Please know that it will not be from that video. You watch us do it. We've had years and years and years and years of experience with this, and we know how to do that safely because that's our job. That's what
we do.
Spirit has given us that, and Spirit's always with us. But I don't even know where I was going with that, but yes. I think I'm running down now. So hopefully this video, yes, Mari-Lyn.
I was just going to say that exact thing. I hope we answered your questions. I hope we didn't create more questions.
I bet we did.
I'll bet we did. We probably did. We probably did.
And that's okay too.
And they'll let us know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do want to, what's coming through now is to remind everyone that we are multidimensional energy healers. Mm-hmm. So as multidimensional energy healers, we work with multidimensional beings. We're able to heal the dimensions plus the beings in the dimensions. And wherever you are in your journey, whether you're in a physical body or not, that's what multidimensional beings or healers do. And those are gifts that we have. We're also teachers, paranormal mediums. And if you'd like to know more about us, you can find us at tcseveryday.psychics.com. We also have a podcast at theconsciousspirit.net. Yes. And that hasn't been going for long, but there's some stuff in there that we don't have on YouTube. And we just really thank you so much. We love all the questions. We are happy to answer them. That's why we're here. We really want to bring truth to the paranormal because there's so much just bad information.
There's a lot of misinformation out there. Yes. You know, do we have all the answers? No. Absolutely not.
No. Which is one great thing about Spirit is that you'll never have all the answers.
Never have all the answers. Yeah. I do want to remind you, if you have paranormal activity,
yes,
not a healthy thing to live with, and reach out. We do not charge for helping to clear out paranormal activity.
We do not.
Everyone has, we are equal opportunists. I don't know where that came from. But we just want you to know that we want to help clear out any activity that you might have.
Yes.
It's not healthy for you. It's certainly not good for the earthbound spirit.
No.
We want to help them move on and to heal and to help you.
And we are going to do a video on this horrifying haunted positive dolls. So wrong on so many levels. I have to stop being mad first, and then we'll do a video.
Okay.
As we know, any soul needs to be crossed over. They need help. So anyway, look for that one. That one will probably come soon. Yeah,
probably.
So thank you so much for tuning in. We absolutely love all of you. We absolutely love you being part of our. We have the best community.
We do.
We really do.
We really do.
We're not just here for the likes and the money.
But like this video and subscribe and all that other good stuff. That was a good segue into that.
Because it does help get it out there, get our voice out there, get our videos out there to reach more people when you like it and you subscribe. And
yes, it does.
And we love that. But we're really here to bring truth to the spiritual journey, which includes paranormal.
Sure does.
We're really here for that. So, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.